Hi and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at how to lay out your arsenal of bowling balls with a simple Excel program. What it's going to do is ask you a series of questions. You answer the questions and it's going to give you the recommended layout for your ball. So some of the things you're going to need to know is the ball statistics, okay, what ball you just purchased. All these numbers are in that box. Most important you're going to have is your positive access point. We get a question a lot of times as people come into our shop. They want a certain layout and they go somewhere to get a ball done and the other guy goes, well, this is what you need, so I'm going to drill it and have fun and go on the lanes. Well, when you know what kind of ball reaction you're looking for, you can actually customize that type of a ball. So we're going to go through this real quick to show you how to use this to lay out all your arsenal of bowling balls and then how to change it later as you need to. So the first thing it's going to ask, we're going to work here from the upper left and go down and work our way down until we get to the recommended layouts. So the first thing it asks right here is ball speed. So when you click on this cell here, it's going to tell you ball speed. Very low is 13 miles an hour and below. Very fast is 21 and above. So you pick your ball speed. For myself, I'm going to use my numbers because it'll make it easier for the video. I am what's considered off my hand a medium ball speed player. So I'm going to leave this right here at medium. The next thing it asks is rev rate. Rev rate is, like I said, very low, which is a lot of your beginner house bowlers at 150 and below, to the very high, which are your new two-handed phenom like Jason Belmonte. So I'm considered a high. I'm actually between high and very high, but we're going to use this just to leave it at high. Axis tilt. So axis tilt is how the ball spins as it goes down the lane. I am actually a low axis tilt person, so I'm going to just click low. And this is your axis rotation. So I am more up the back of the ball. And this will make sense later as we get into your PAP as to why these numbers do change. Okay, now this is pattern details is the lanes you're going to be bowling on, your oil pattern. So when you click on it, it's going to ask you, are you on a very short pattern or all the way to a very long pattern? So if you're using this for a house condition, you just kind of find, talk to the mechanic, somebody in your house to try to get you an idea of how long the oil is on your house. So let's just say you're bowling on a medium house pattern at 38 feet. So we would change this to medium. Volume. Well, how heavy is that volume? Typically, most house conditions are going to be light or light to medium. So let's just say that you're fresh starting on the lanes, just all the leagues. So let's say you're on a medium pattern. So we're going to put this right where it's at medium. Next thing it asks for is your ball specs. Every ball comes with these specs from the manufacturer. So we're going to use the numbers here off of Columbia Val, which is a new ball. So what it's asking for is the low RG, and it tells you the numbers are between 2.46 and 2.80. So you pick the numbers that your ball says. So the Columbia Val is at 2.50. The differential on this ball is at 0.52. And the PSA is at 0.13. That's the intermediate differential. So next thing you have to ask yourself is, well, what's your positive access point? You should know this number by heart by now. If you want to lay out an arsenal of balls, well, this is how you do that. So my positive access point is 5 1/4 by 1 inch vertical. Now it asks me for my reaction strength. How do I want this ball to react? And this is based on the flare potential of that ball. So I can make this ball very weak. I can make this ball very strong. So on a house pattern, I don't typically need this thing to be at its strongest point, but I also don't want to make it very weak. So what I would do is I'd pick something either the strong or very strong. So let's pick strong for this particular layout that we're working on. High or low RG layout. Again, another question we get a lot, what's the difference? Well, that's kind of based on your pin placement. So, but what it does is it makes the ball read the pattern a little bit differently. As you can see down here, a low RG ball tends to rev faster and arc, where a high RG tends to be more skid flip. So on this one right here, I want something more arcing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this and say I want a low RG ball. The transition length, okay, what this is going to do is, when do I want the ball to actually read this or make the change of direction? And again, for a normal house condition, I want this probably either medium long or long down the lane. But let's just say that I want this ball, for this example, at medium long. And then my desired reaction length. Now, again, this is going to tell me, do I want this ball reading the pattern at the end of the pattern, the middle of the pattern, or very late in the pattern? For most house conditions, I don't want it too early because it'll burn up energy and not hit. If I hit it too late, it's going to be, well, back to more of a skid flip ball. So we're going to pick medium. So that gives me the reaction that I want, the reaction length. So what it does now, it gives me a recommended layout. So what it's telling me is for this particular ball, I want the pin to PAP at 2 5/8 inches away. My PSA, or mass bias, to PAP is at 6.5 inches. And my pin buffer is only 1.5 inches. And I can drill this ball and confidently know that this is the reaction I'm going to get. So once I've drilled this ball, and then now I want to go back to change a ball, so to a different ball. Let's just say I pick something completely different. Now this number here dropped from 250 to 2.48, which is going to be a little lower RG ball. And we'll keep the differential about the same. And let's just change this to, say, 0.07 as a differential. So you're going to see the numbers did not change much at all as far as the ball goes. But here's where you're going to make your difference in how to make your balls work the best for you. We're going to change some things here. I'm going to leave all my specs the same for my ball speed, rev rate, axis tilt, and axis rotation, my positive access points. We're going to leave those the same. But what I want to do now is I'm going to change the pattern details. So now let's say I'm bowling on a longer pattern. So now I'm going to change this to long. Volume is now going to be heavy. Now the numbers start to change. Starts to bring that pin a little bit closer in. That pin buffer a little bit farther out. So now I want a more of a high RG ball, a skid flip ball. And now I want the transition to be extremely late down the lane. My reaction strength now, I want it late as possible. So now it gives me a different layout. Now I'm at 3 3/4 from my pin to PSA. My PSA, or mass bias, to PAP is now 5 7/8, and my pin buffer is 2.5 inches. So now I can start laying out an arsenal of bowling balls based on ball reaction only, not just a guess. So don't let the guy behind the counter just say, well, this is what you need, I know best, and be on your way. This is not that hard to do. If you have any questions and you'd like for us to lay out one of your bowling balls, we'd be more than happy to do it and send you your recommended layout. You can always find us at matterofdegrees.com. Send us an email, and I hope this helps. Thank you very much for the question, and we will talk to you soon.